It started in the 5th grade. Ethan was the kind of kid who kept to himself. He liked drawing in the back of the class and never caused trouble. But there was always one person who seemed determined to make his life miserable. A boy named Ryan. Ryan wasn't just any bully, he was clever about it. Never enough to get caught by teachers. Always just enough to humiliate Ethan in front of others. It began with small things. Ryan would knock Ethan's books out of his hands in the hallway. He'd make sarcastic comments about Ethan's clothes. He'd call him professor because Ethan liked to read. Ethan tried to ignore it. He told himself that if he didn't react, Ryan would get bored and stop. But that never happened. Instead, Ryan escalated. One day during lunch, Ryan accidentally spilled milk all over Ethan's sketchbook. Months of work were ruined in seconds. Ethan went home that day and cried. But in that moment, something inside him shifted. He decided that he wasn't going to let Ryan get away with it anymore. Ethan wasn't a fighter. He wasn't loud, strong, or intimidating. But he was smart. Very smart. He began to observe Ryan closely. What made him tick? What were his weaknesses? It didn't take long for Ethan to notice something. Ryan cared about one thing more than anything else: his reputation. He liked being the cool guy who everyone respected. The thought of being embarrassed? That was his kryptonite. Ethan didn't want to hurt Ryan physically. That would only get him in trouble. He wanted something better: public, undeniable, poetic justice. So he came up with a plan. It was the school's annual talent show. Anyone could sign up. Most students did silly skits or lip-synced to pop songs. But this year, Ethan decided to join. When his name appeared on the sign-up sheet, Ryan smirked. "Oh, this is going to be good," he said to his friends. He was already planning to mock Ethan's performance. What Ryan didn't know was that Ethan had been practicing something special. The night of the talent show arrived. Parents, teachers, and students filled the auditorium. Ryan sat in the front row with his crew, ready to laugh. One by one, the acts went on stage. Finally, it was Ethan's turn. He stepped into the spotlight, holding a large sketch pad. The crowd was silent. Ethan began flipping through drawings. They were caricatures, funny, exaggerated portraits of people at school. The audience started to laugh and cheer as they recognized themselves. Then Ethan flipped to the final drawing. It was Ryan. Not just any drawing of Ryan. It was a perfectly detailed caricature of him looking like a cartoonish, overconfident peacock. Big chest puffed out, sunglasses, and a speech bubble saying, "I'm cooler than I really am." The crowd erupted in laughter. Ryan's face turned bright red. For the first time, he was the one being laughed at. Teachers laughed. Parents laughed. Even some of Ryan's friends couldn't hold back. Ryan stormed out of the auditorium, humiliated. And here's the best part. Ethan never insulted him directly. It was just a drawing, just a joke. No rules broken. No trouble. From that day on, Ryan never bothered Ethan again. In fact, he started avoiding him entirely. Years later, Ethan would look back on that night as the moment he realized something powerful. Sometimes the best revenge isn't loud. It's clever. It's precise. And it leaves the other person with no way to fight back. The day the bully got exactly what he deserved wasn't about cruelty. It was about balance. And in Ethan's mind, the scales had finally evened out. Subscribe to Favio Fun Facts for more.